Welcome back to 2001 QX4. Unfortunately, it's wintertime up here, and guess what went bad? I have no heat, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to fix this problem the quick and dirty way. So the last couple months, the blower unit in this QX4 has been giving us trouble. Now, you could assume that maybe this could be bad, and you could be right, but being we've been able to actually kick the blower unit to get it to come on, but here in the last week, we've gotten cold up here in the Northwest, and the heater does not work. But I'm going to show you. We do got another one of these units coming, and believe me, these lost a lot of money. This was about 400 bucks used, but as you can see, the buttons are dead. But that's not what's causing our no fan issue down below. So right now, as you see, there's no change, there's no fan. And one thing, once you lose these buttons, this one's off, and this one's top defrost, it keeps the fan on all the time, which is going to burn it down faster. So on this one, it's like, well, how do you stop the blower unit from burning down, from it not being used when not needed? But if you live in a hot climate, you're always going to use the fan, so you can't get off that way. And at this point, there's no way to turn the fan off until we replace this entire unit. Now, this particular QX4 has a navigation and heating unit, and I'll show you that now. Auto AC, AC's kicking on, so we see that. Turn on Econ, you can hear the compressor kick off. We can move through the modes, you can actually hear it move. But the one thing you can't do, there's no fan control. Now, I could show you a bunch of fancy tests to test it, but I think at this point, because, you know, I've witnessed this thing start from not working one day, to kicking it on, to it howling, to it's burning or moving slow, to the point now it won't even come on. So I'm going to show you today how to do the fan unit in a quick and dirty way, because it's actually not too bad on the QX4. It's one of the few jobs I can say that aren't too bad compared to doing like an intake or spark plugs or any other job we've done on this, like even replacing the lights out front. It's a fun job, things have to come apart, but other than that, this job is actually not too bad. So let's get set up for that. I mean, there's really nothing else I can show you. Fans on high, but we have no blower. Okay, so underneath the passenger's compartment, there's the blower unit. Not too bad. There's only a few screws that need to come out. The problem you're going to have is that this kick panel's got to come out. So we're going to do that first. And then from there, we'll proceed to the blower unit. I'm going to see if I can't pull it down and can't get it to move again. But right now, she won't move. She's locked solid. And looking at how small the fan is, it makes sense. So let's get this kick panel off. You want to get this little screw out of the way. When I kick this panel out of the way, it just pulls up. This is the passenger side kick plate. Alright, comes right out, not too bad. Kind of show you what you're looking at. You got the connector here for your power in, simple 2-wire, and then pretty much you got the mounting screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll get those off now. First things I like to do is get the connector out of the way so we don't do any damage to it. Some of these have a clip, some don't. With my big old hands, this could be a little interesting. Alright, comes off, no biggie. You can actually see where the bearing is burned up. We got some dirt in there, we'll clean that up. Next thing you want to get is the drip hose out of the way. This helps pull heat out of the motor. And just put that off to the side. Remove the fasteners. Don't lose them because you will need to reuse them. This one over here I knew was going to be interesting. Be careful if you haven't disconnected the power. Don't want to blow no fuses. And you see the unit's already starting to move. And let's see what that last one. The last one I'm not going to be able to record for you. I'm going to pull the screw here on the dash to see if it'll give me enough. And that looks like that will be the winner chicken dinner. Alright, I did have to put this screw back in to hold it, so we'll pull this one now. And it should just drop right out. Now just gently wiggle it out. We're going to hook it back up just to see if we can't see why it won't spin up. There we go.
Yeah. Actually work?
Now it's upside down, yeah. Be very careful if you do that test, because that could take your fingers. But you can see it's clearly working after it got spun backwards. But if I put it up the other way, she's stuck solid. So there you go, quick test. This is what we call the quick and dirty way, the way I like to do it. So we have our new one, Import Direct. When I do imports, I only use Import Direct parts when it's available. They just last a lot longer. I mean, there are cheaper replacements out there, but why? You definitely want to spend the money on the Import Direct parts for the Asian cars, because as you can see with this is a quality part. This isn't aftermarket junk. You know, a lot of the American cars, I buy the aftermarket parts, and boy, I'll tell you what, I end up replacing them twice for every one of the OEMs, and that's just how it goes. But this is a good part. We'll have no trouble with it, and it'll be good to go. No worries. You do notice it comes with a new tube. I'm going to try to use the OEM tube, but if not, we'll put this one in. Alright, pretty much you clock it, stick it back in the hole. Alright, clock it correctly. Power goes towards the fender well. You just got to weasel this sucker back in, same way it came out. Pull the dash. So the tube's going to be a little fight. We'll get it out of the way. Alright, line up your mounting holes. Make sure you don't stuff your power wire in the hole. There is a mounting tab here. Get your first screw started. There's a lot of weight on this, as you can see, so you don't want to let it go. So get your second screw going before you just relax and let it go. That's so you don't break this delicate box, because it is plastic. Alright, as you can see, we can let it go now. And you just want to make these a little bit past finger tight. Alright, get your last mounting screw in. Now this last one is difficult because of the dash. It's a bad shot. Sorry, folks. But I only do jobs once right the first time. And with big hands and a small car, might take 3 takes. But that's okay. Pull the dash back just enough, don't break anything. There we go. Big long screwdriver, and again, don't over tighten. And just once again, check all your screws, make sure they're good to go. Good. And then this hose bit. The kit came with this hose, but we're going to reuse this one because there's no way this is going to fit. Must be for a different application. Alright, put it back in the vent. Put on the motor first. Back in the hole. Alright, put our last screw in the dash. We're going to test it before we put the kick panel back on. Clean up your connector, plug it back in. Hey, you see me fuss with it a little bit. It's going to be a little bit different than the aftermarket, but it snaps right back in. Alright, let's test it real quick, make sure it's good to go before I put the kick panel back on. So nice to hear it hum again. Very good. Alright, now we can put our kick panels back on. Just one more time, we'll show you the completed project here. It's not too bad. This is actually one of the easier jobs. Make sure your hose for your drip is hooked up. Good to go. Push our wire back, kick panels back on, and this job is a wrap. Alright, kick panels just pop right back on. Other than that, this job is a wrap. Alright, let's start it up, test it out. Alright, let's get in and see if our new heater blower motor works. Alright, we got heat, I can feel it. It's going to make the wife very happy, but let's make sure she's got all her speeds. Nice. Nice. I love import direct parts. Alright folks, as you can see, that was a good fix. That was easy diagnosis, not bad to do. The part was kind of expensive, but $90, nah. I've spent more for less. But on the next installment of the QX4 repair video saga, yes, I have promised you a bunch of videos that we're going to do on the engine. They're still planned, you know, but with the shop we got bogged down and we're still trying to get caught up, so be patient with us. But the next video coming out, we're actually going to replace this unit. We're actually going to put a car stereo in, and we'll even make it all work. But other than that, folks, if you liked the video, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.